I'm going out walking again. What I was going to say was, her washer and dryer take for fucking ever. The heavy duty load in the washer and that thing. You know what? Wait a minute. I'm going to go ahead and put my laundry in. Even though all of it won't be in there. A heavy duty load in the washer, her washer, is like an hour and a half. Oh, I don't have any place for the towels. Well, yeah, I can. Just put them on top of the dryer. I could dry things separately in the dryer too. A heavy duty load takes an hour and 16 minutes. The Samsung front loaders was like 45 minutes. It's awesome. Most people probably talk about joyful, happy things when they blog. I'd rather talk about the negative things that affect more than just me. Why? Well, things change. That's why. So, let me wash the shirt. Everything else can wait. I like to be productive. I don't like to be productive when somebody comes in and asks, why are you doing it that way? It's annoying. I pay the bills, and I do this, and I do that. Yes, exactly. You people disabled me so that I would have to run back begging for crumbs at every turn. Calling me the drug addict when Dr. Gollenstein's controlled substances were getting diverted simply because Debbie was too lazy to call in a refill. Among other things, I'm pretty sure the Dr. Gollenstein is the Crawford's physician as well, if I'm not mistaken. Put the door down. People see me able to do something. Hi, Chico. Anyway, people think that just because I'm able to do something one day, I should be able to do it every day. Like my left leg and ankle feels like hell, even with medicating. But, you know, have to try to stay as healthy as possible, especially as a disabled person. I like to test my own senses. Definitely don't want to be out somewhere and fall on the sidewalk. Not that that would probably happen, but it could. I think I'll just walk the block. My left ankle really did roll yesterday. Somebody's sandal. My left ankle really did roll last night or yesterday evening when I was walking. It's kind of sore today. But yes, the falsified and flat out fabricated fraud in medical, legal and their bullshit too. I'd had enough of it. Especially after being brutally sexually assaulted that last time. Oh well. How lucky am I? That's just like the Lexus I'm thinking of that Christy has. Or has still, I don't know. I think hers was an 05 or 06 that looked like mine. A more rounded body style. They're good cars. They last forever. Most owners complain about the transmission, but that's just the electronic thing in it. Toyota should have came out with a patch for it, but they never did. When it shifts from first to second, the 04, 5, and 6 models anyway, when it shifts from first to second, there's a lag, and it can be a little bit dangerous. You never want to try to, oh, I can beat that car making the left turn. You never want to do that in those. When it's shifting between first and second, there is quite a lag. I'm not the only one who's noticed it. Good cars, though. Some of the parts are expensive, but that's just because they're not plain halogen bulbs. But like oil changes and stuff, no more expensive than an American-made car. My left rib wall feels like it has been fucking mashed. So let me tell you how they love to purr in my ear and whisper in my ear, and this is what happened, and if you don't agree and believe us, forced medical treatments. I told you to stay in open pleasure. Go to fucking hell. You people are sick. It's one thing when the cops would do it non-consensually. It was another thing when they had taught their junkies how to pull those sick-ass fucking moves on me. Just like Alpha Tango bullshit. I'm supposed to feel sorry for who? It seems to me like everyone I've ever encountered has been out for themselves in one form or another. I told you I get lonely. I want you to move to Hamilton County, not to mention, They're moving up here. I'm all, I really don't have the energy to go to college, but it wasn't a choice. They thought I was just addicted to drugs and being lazy and no motivation, as in like schizophrenia. I do not have the physical stamina to keep up with it. It's not laziness. You people and that bullying caused me to kill myself. I have no shame in discussing it because, in my opinion, suicide is simply natural death for certain individuals. I don't condone it. I don't endorse it. I don't particularly support it. Death with dignity laws, though, I agree with them. If a cancer patient or a patient with Alzheimer's who's beginning to show signs of organ failure deterioration want to end their lives on their own terms while they're still able to wipe their own fucking asses, I fully support that. It's better than being suicided by a court order for a 72-hour psych hold. Because let's face it, that's all that is. Every antipsychotic on the market has that suicide risk as a side effect. Zyprexa is the worst, according to studies. Just another way to entrap people in more of their misery. I realize we cannot survive off grass and sunshine. I realize bills cost money. Life costs money. I'm not an imbecile. I'm not an idiot. At the same time, I also know I was permanently disabled by a bunch of fucking perverts and essentially told to suck it up. Quite literally. All the while suffering an excruciating pain that even male family members told me to simply get over. Look what we've been through. Yeah, You have wives to come home to that might be bitches, but at least they bow down. Your kids adore you. What did I have? Helter Skelter is a bedtime story with being pushed down a fucking flight of stairs, being pimped out for more drugs and alcohol. So you all go right ahead and compare yourselves to me. So Eric and Michelle Crawford. Eric Crawford in that car accident on the way back from Moorhead. Cal. Crush. Feels like he's living in a tornado all the time. If I read the symptomology correctly. Welcome to my mobile world. They're not hallucinations. They're not delusions. They're neuropsychiatric symptoms. Not just psychiatric symptoms. Totally undocumented. To help protect a bunch of fucking rapey perverts in law, legal, and medical. And welcome to my mobile world, as I said. I truly was offended when Michelle Crawford asked why I would even need to consider cannabis. Who gives a shit what you believe about being gay or your feelings on homos? Even though that answer of what would Jesus do said it all for me. Jesus would allow it to be, and walk silently. Jesus would probably help the kid getting beat up on the street in this day and age. So if you would like to read the medical file as a nurse, you're more than welcome to. Oh well. And that's my life. Eric Crawford became disabled on the way home from a concert. I became disabled from a fucking bunch of rapey perverts when I was around 7. So Erica Michelle Crawford and Kentuckians for Medicinal Marijuana accepting resources from said fucking pieces of shit kind of annoys me. Especially when they in turn gave resources to Kim Razor for her campaign. I have absolutely zero regrets about taking all those goddamn pills. In my medicine cabinet, not today. I'm not trying to hold anything back. People need to get the whole goddamn story before they go cheering for certain people and spitting on others. Man, that's a sharp charger. $70 degrees or whatever it is today. Ugh. I would honestly prefer to live in a cooler climate. Even though the mobility becomes worse, your joints get stiffer. When it's colder, the cooler climate makes me feel better overall. That's a telltale of autoimmune disease. Cooling the body, limiting inflammation, and it makes you feel better overall. Yeah, it's some kind of sick autoimmune thing. All the stress, all the trauma can normally activate autoimmune illness, just like cancer and irritants and such, chemicals. Just like after I talked about silicosis. DPNL wasn't around much longer, was it? There are autoimmune heart problems that cause inflammation that are very, very fucking painful. So for all the people back home who wonder about their chest pain, even though I've witnessed you drink quite heavily, that's something to ask about. Hell, I'm quite sure there are still constellation of symptoms that have not yet been defined. I tried to help physicians. I honestly, as a non-Middle Eastern person, I've never done the DNA thing, but as a non-Middle Eastern person, I have exhibited all the signs of Behçet's disease, CVST, aphthous ulcers since I was a kid, other inflammation throughout the body. Those are very specific symptoms. And, what's the right word for the CVST? Events. Overstepping my bounds and looking intelligent made them just, first of all, their arrogance would kick in. And second of all, they would see I was on pain management and simply assume I was trying to get more medication. Absolute lunacy. Complete medical negligence. In my opinion. Flat out falsified medical documentation, especially that presented to a court. Fraud. After the last round of court, they wanted me to seek behavioral health counseling. I let the therapist know that I had been human trafficked. I hope to God that, that was fucking notated in the goddamn docket. Oh well, right? It's his fault. He can't mind. He won't behave. He's too belligerent. He's too loud. Well, I'm so fucking sorry that my illness is more annoying to you than it is to me. I shouldn't have to apologize for being a disabled person simply because people aren't mature enough to educate themselves on said medical conditions. May every goddamn one of their fucking children develop some horrible neurological issue. And how's that for positivity? That's no threat. May God just suddenly smite them. Maybe Lyme disease. Ticks are quite common in Kentucky. And that's how I feel about that matter. What am I going to do? Absolutely fucking nothing. Shoot my big fucking bitch mouth and say things like that. May God smite every one of their goddamn children with some horrific neurological problem. Lyme disease sounds good. And it can be severe enough. Just ask Congressman Massey's mother about it. You should have at least told us that you were... Please. I told Bonnie when I was 12 or 13 that her brother was driving me to within an inch of my fucking sanity. Not to mention the work we had to do for Tim Moore and that fucking cock-sucking educational facility. She said she didn't believe me, that I could possibly be under that much mental stress. I thought, you know what? Whatever. Telling me to act like a child and go speak to the other children, but then grabbing my hand and yanking me right along to scrub a floor or talk about legal or play therapist. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but those are symptoms of being bipolar. Not diagnosing it, just asking. Just like with my sister. Our parents bought that furniture. You're not getting it. 2 weeks later, when are you coming to get your shit from mom's house? Very benign, quiet signs of being bipolar, which would explain why I got punched in the mouth and told to eat pussy when I was a kid. Oh well. And that's the life that I got to live. All the while, the cops coming around kicking my ass for nothing because of the other fucking pieces of shit. So while they tried to blame me for being hypersexual, because, you know, my sperm belonged to the women as part of the fucking sex education pervert version of the DARE program of Mason County, Kentucky.